All right, we're running. We're running live and direct. Um, it is Thursday, August 25th, 2022. And to kind of stamp this point in time, I am, recording, but I've yet to publicly release my new podcast, Freestyle Lawns. And I know that goes counter to, a lot of the things I talk about with working on overcoming fear of judgment and doubt and resistance, to being myself, just putting myself out there. Um, Almost like I'm afraid to let people see behind the curtain of like the process and, the mess ups and the non-glamorous part of this all, really, um, just because, I don't feel, I get into feeling that this isn't anything special yet, and I tell myself, well, let me just record a few more episodes, put them up, and then we'll be ready to go. But I am really working on and setting a goal to release this podcast publicly as soon as I have some new art. Which, by the way, I got to hit up my art guy. It's your boy, Dusty Blanco. I know he's going to whip up something fire for me. So as soon as that's in, no matter where I'm at, with the recordings, no matter how consistent I've been, I've got, I think, 3 uploads so far. This makes 4 episodes, 3 episodes plus an intro. So I guess we can call this episode 3. And yeah, man, why not? I mean, I've podcasted a whole season a couple years ago with the boy Sean. Looking forward to actually sitting down with him tomorrow night to kind of, catch up with him and discuss where we stand, about our podcast and just our, creative pursuits, ambitions, and just where we're at with it, So anyway, this is really just me again making the habit of showing up. I do have the fear that some of my recordings will become repetitive, and that if you're listening, you're like, well, you just pretty much talked about this last week. Well, I mean, the podcast might not be for you. I mean, there's a lot on the other side, I think, once I get going, that will bring a lot of value. And for right now, this is just me going through it. It's a self-experiment, like for me to get comfortable putting out my 60% self, what's held me back for so long is not releasing something unless it's 100% or unless I'm like my 95% self. You know what I mean? I'm really in no special mood right now. It's the latter part of a day, almost 8 p.m. after a work day. So the mind's a little tired. I'm not, I guess, as quick or as sharp as I feel that I am maybe in the morning. I'm a morning guy. So I know it benefits me to do certain creative work, certain types of creative work in the morning, but also I've been a victim of letting myself get trapped in that line of thinking where, well, it could be better. It could have been better. Therefore, I'm going to maybe redo it, or I'll keep that for, for myself for later, just to archive it, whatever. But really, like, just, post your journey. Your journey might be the most inspiring thing for someone. The people that I'm most inspired by, I mean, a lot of them are not even household names, but, they have become masters of their craft, and they are household names in their own right, in their own field. Just because they're not A-list celebrities, doesn't mean that they're not a master. And I guess my point with that is the people that I look up to and consume and listen to and watch are people that are on their own journey. You can tell. I mean, they've reached a certain point, that's a little bit beyond where I'm at for sure. But, I like tapping in to see the growth and to, be on the ride of wherever they're going. So it's like if, you as a creator are leaving out the in between, the zero, the basement, and the top, it doesn't add up. It's fine if you got there, but you've basically have left out your whole story. And I'm pretty much talking to myself. I'd say that's probably the biggest twist of all is, I would bet a lot of people would assume that I'm quote unquote over the hill as far as, let's say, music goes or podcasting goes, or, being a creative or, a creator in general goes, that I had my moment and that's it. But, I've been creating the whole time. It's just, I've been in my own way of sharing, my continuously updated self, and my development. I've been maybe uncomfortable with the idea of having established a certain identity and then just evolving so much and having to almost start fresh, and I don't know why I'm in my head about caring that someone random is going to think, why is Lunds doing this? That's not Lunds, or that's not the Lunds stuff I used to consume. I'm not really into this. I'm not really a fan anymore. Like, why do I care about that? My goal should be to, weed those people out to make space for the new, target market of mine and the new people that I'll appeal to. And those people are really like versions of me from 5 years ago. Me 5 years ago is who I'm talking to right now. As a way to just starting to walk the path of finding yourself and just documenting the growth. At least document the growth. Try to share it too, because you never know what a difference it could make for someone who really needs it. Don't miss your opportunity to, make their day or give them a special moment. You've got it inside you. So, it's your responsibility to not sacrifice the gift. It's your responsibility to not deprive someone of receiving a message that you could have given them when they needed it most. So use your, unique self, gifts, abilities, whatever, to help people that need it most and help people that are just like you, or help people that are like a prior version of you before you got to where you're at now. Think about how much you could have used that and how much that could have helped your growth back then. Be selfless with your knowledge, your wisdom, your perspectives, and just, be fearless about the response. There's no audience. It's just you. Just put it out there. All right. Peace.